There's a ton of books, courses, and YouTube videos around goal setting. Yet 92% of people, according to science, fail to meet their goals. And I don't want you to be one of them. When you look at conventional advice, you get a sort of strategy along with some generic advice like be passionate, let's go, that's right, or don't multitask. But I think everyone is missing something very important. That's why in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my state-field goal setting system and the 7 questions you can ask yourself to achieve your goals with more peace. Now, on surface, this looks very similar to any other system until we get to question number 4, and that's where things get very interesting. Before we start, why should you listen to my advice? Look, I don't have $100 million of net worth like Alex Hormozi, and I definitely haven't done 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. How is that even possible? Like David Goggins.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
However, in the past few years, I went from being a socially awkward video game addict who weighed 225 pounds to losing 65 pounds, building a 6-figure business while traveling the world, and stepping into courage in social situations that I used to be terrified by. So when it comes to transforming your life, I know a little bit to help you out, and I'm hoping that you're willing to listen to what I'm about to share with you. As I'm going through these questions, I don't want you to just take notes or save this for later, but I want you to treat this as an experience and really be here with me so you can experience this to its fullest. The first question is, where do you want your life to be by the end of 2024 or whatever your deadline is? Don't just write it down, don't just think about it, but feel it. Imagine you were going through your day-to-day life from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. How would that look like? And be with that feeling. Pause the video if you need to. And just sit with that with all your senses. See what you would see. Smell what you would smell. Taste what you would taste. Listen to what type of sounds you want to be around and turn this into immersive experience. This is the difference between seeing your goals on a screen versus going to one of those 5D cinemas where the experience becomes a part of your current reality. The second question is, let's say you achieved everything in that vision. What would that say about you? For example, if I want to build a business that makes 10K a month, right? If I achieve that goal, what would that say about me? It could say that I'm disciplined. It could say that I know how to build a business, how to market, how to sell. It could also say that I'm good at spotting opportunities. So I want you to take the goal at the surface level, really break down the goal, and ask yourself, why do I want this? What does this goal, me achieving this, represent to myself about who I am? Because what we want to look at is the core emotion that's driving us. Because what we truly want is not necessarily the goal. It's the feeling underneath the goal. So the next question goes a bit deeper into that. The third question you ask yourself is, what would it say about me if I tried my best to get towards this goal, but I didn't reach it? And sit with that question for a bit. What would it mean about you if you tried your best, but you failed? What people miss is when we set a goal, we attach a meaning to what reaching that goal says about us. And usually underneath the goal itself, there's an emotion that we're searching for. So as we consider the possibility of reaching the goal, but also trying our best and not reaching that goal, we familiarize ourselves with the emotion we want to feel. So for example, if your goal was to build a business that did 20, 30K a month, you can go deeper into that and recognize that what I actually want is freedom and peace. Then you can ask yourself in question 4, that emotion I'm searching for that I've attached to this goal, how can I take that emotion today and put more of that into how I live today. So for example, if you're in the building stages of your business and maybe you're not at 20K a month, how can you do your tasks right now of doing outreach, of messaging people, creating content, me creating this video for you? How can I take that freedom, that sense of peace, and give that to you in this video? So that as I'm walking towards my goal, I am not losing touch with the emotions that I want to feel. Because the thing is, everything you want in your life is not actually an external goal. It's an internal goal that is an external reflection. So familiarize yourself with the emotion you want to feel, and then use that emotion as fuel as you're moving towards your goals. Question number 5 is ask yourself how living with that emotion can change your life today. For example, a lot of guys I coached around dating, they wanted to feel that they were loved for who they were and not what they had. But deeper in that, what having this relationship meant to them was that they were the guy who had the courage to go for the woman they wanted instead of settling for a woman where they felt not really drawn to. So the emotion was courage. We took that courage and then we had the guys ask themselves, okay, how can you be more courageous today? And a lot of that came down to the action of going up and speaking to people they were interested in. So then we went, how would that change your life, right? For me speaking to people I was terrified by completely transformed how I lived. It took me from being someone who was very scared, who had an addiction cycle of playing video games and overeating to avoid discomfort, to the person who I am today, which is a lot more expressive and a lot more free. So I want you to ask yourself the same question. How would putting more of that emotion, that intention, change your life today? And how would this is question number 6, affect you reaching your goal? Is it easier to reach your goal knowing that whatever emotion you are searching for is inside you? Or is it easier to reach your goal when you're afraid, when you want to run away from something, when you feel doubt, when you feel anxiety? The reason most people fail is they have this goal, and until they get to that goal, they cut themselves out of love. They try to get there so quickly by fear, by doubt, by anxiety, that force eventually burns them out. So in question number 6, we're shifting our fuel from fear into this emotion we want to feel and still moving towards that goal. So that through this state we're feeling, this state of gratitude and courage, then we can move towards what we actually want. You know, we're not just feeling this beautiful emotion and then expecting the world to just arrange. We're also backing up that emotion with wholesome action. So you still need to work hard, you still need to work a lot, but everything you do, there's an emotion you put into it. I could make this video with fear that it's not going to get views, with fear that people are not going to listen. Or I could make this video with the joy of creating something meaningful in the world. And hopefully my joy for that speaks to you, and you can see the difference between anything you do that comes with joy versus that comes with fear. Question number 7 is, now that I know what emotion I'm shooting for, what do I say no to? This question will save you so much suffering in your life. For example, I had some friends in the online coaching industry, and what they did was they just scaled to 20K a month, 30K a month, 50K a month, because they didn't realize that what they were searching for by those numbers was actually love and acceptance and a sense of peace. And what happened was, as they were trying to get to that goal as quickly as they could, sometimes they enrolled clients that maybe would have been better off if they didn't enroll them. And what that created was, now they had to deal with more challenging clients instead of actually saying no to money and only enrolling people who they could truly help, that they aligned with. So actually, because they didn't investigate the underlying emotion they were going for, the thing they were doing, reaching to 50K a month to get peace, caused them a lack of peace. So now that you know the underlying emotion you're going for, ask yourself, what will you say no to? A lot of guys that I coached who realized they wanted courage, to speak to people they were interested in. They decided that they're going to delete the online dating apps because they realized what they were looking for wasn't just some meaningless dates. It's to know that they had the courage to go after what they wanted. So now that you know this for you, figure out, what will you say no to cherish this state you're in as you're moving towards your goal? And as you're moving in your day-to-day life, ask yourself, based on your anchoring emotion, is this bringing me more peace or less peace? Whatever your emotion is, if it's freedom, ask yourself, is going out with my friends on the weekend and getting drunk actually bringing me more freedom or less freedom? And the more you expand your time horizon to consider this emotion, the more you may realize it's actually bringing you less freedom. So this is my state-based goal setting system that you can use to reach your goals with more peace. You can do this 7-question analysis in any goal you have in your life and hopefully move towards that goal, not just with chaos and absolute sense of I have to do this, otherwise I'm a failure, but with more ease and more peace. Hopefully that was helpful to you. If one of your goals is to be more social and to step into courage around people you want to meet, check out this video where I tell you my system to talk to anyone, anywhere.